What's up you guys, it's Looney, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to install Pokenav onto your Discord. At the same time, I'm also going to be changing my costumes, and hopefully you guys can help me pick a costume. I'm going to have a costume themed birthday party in a couple weeks, and so if you guys can just help me out and tell me which one looks best, that'll help out too. So let's get started here, because this is going to probably be one of the longest videos I've ever made. I'm here on Discord, and when you make a new Discord, it automatically comes with these channels. I'm going to delete the voice channels because we're not going to use those. So this is assuming that you already have a Discord and you're just trying to install Pokenav into it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is open a different tab, and you're just going to Google Pokenav bot. So yes, this is a Wonder Woman, and I feel it's alright, it's alright. Just so you guys know, I was a Wonder Woman last year, so this is kind of like one of those last choices. Okay, so we found Pokenav here, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on Discord so that we can invite the bot to our server. But to do that, we have to join the Pokenav Discord server first. And you're just going to go ahead and click on continue to Discord, or open URL, and then continue to Discord. And then continue to Discord. Okay, so once you're in the Discord here, you're going to scroll up. There's a lot of helpful resources here, just so you can come back and visit those. The first thing we need to do is get the Discord invite link so that we can invite Pokenav bot into our server. So we're going to click on the bot invite link, and we're going to choose the server that we want to invite the bot into. You want to make sure you bookmark this this guide. I'll include it in the description for this video, because that's what you're going to need for the entire process. You're going to go down the list of all the commands that you're going to be putting in. So it was called MB Looney's Town. That's the bot. That's the Discord server that we made, and we're going to authorize here. And this is the first process in setting up Pokenav on your server. So I hate doing this part where you have to, like, you know, I suck at these, like mountains or hills, though thank God I'm familiar with those here in Nevada. So we're going to go ahead and pick the right pictures with mountains and hills. And verify. Motorcycles now, I'm familiar with those too around here. And there we go. In order to type in all the commands that we're going to need to set up Pokenav, we're going to go into the Pokenav channel. It's already going to be there. It's part of what the bot does when you invite it. So look for the Pokenav channel, and that's what we're going to be working in. So the first thing you're going to do is type in quick start all, and that's going to create all the channels and categories or categories that you're going to need for Pokenav. But like I said, the first process here is typing in quick start all. All these commands that we're going to be typing in are going to start with the money symbol. That's the prefix for this bot. If you have other bots that use the same prefix money symbol, then I would change it, and you can change it by copying and pasting the command for changing the prefix, which you'll see in the admin's guide that we bookmarked. make sure that you're under the admin's guide, under server settings, guide, or commands, I mean. So I wouldn't worry about the first two commands, just skip those. So it wants us to set which channel we're going to be doing all the Pokenav moderation in. This is different from actually using the bot. So this is like how you set it up. You want to keep this channel and not give everybody access to use it. So what I would do is I would create a moderator category and then stick it under the moderator category, the channel, Pokenav channel on Discord. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. Like I said, if you have other bots that use the prefix money symbol, you definitely want to change it by copying and pasting the set prefix command and then just changing the money symbol at the end to whatever symbol you want to use for this bot for the entire rest of its existence on your Discord. So moving on, we're going to skip the time zone, setting the time zone, because I know you guys are all in different time zones. So normally you would just copy and paste this into the Pokenav channel on Discord and then just change the time zone, the US Eastern part, to your time zone. So we're going to skip that and we're going to set the location for our bot. This is just so that the bot knows what's the area you're working in. So what I did is I just opened up Google Maps and then here's my city here, my little old Carson City, and we're just going to pick the middle of Carson City. And up at the top, you'll see that the coordinates come up. We're going to copy those coordinates. And now we can go back to Discord. Again, make sure that you're working in the Pokenav channel, because if you try to do this in any other channel, it's not going to work. You can tell because it says Pokenav at the top. So the command, what was the command? Let's take a look. Let's refer back to the admin's guide, or not, but make sure you type it in. If you're going to be typing it in and not pasting it, copying and pasting it, make sure that you type it in exactly how it appears, with the spaces, lowercase, with the money symbol at the beginning and all that. And then we're going to go ahead and paste in the coordinates for the middle of our city. And one thing that this bot doesn't like is, for some reason or another, I learned this the hard way, but you have to put a space in between the comma and the minus symbol. Pokenav bot is not really good at explaining the errors when there is an error, so that can be a little bit confusing, but I'll tell you right now, it's because I don't have a space between the comma and the minus symbol. Once you have Pokenav all set up, it's going to be really easy to use. It's just harder to set it up than it is to use. So I'm going to copy this again and paste it in the message section. And this time I'm going to put a space in between the comma and the minus sign for the second coordinates. Hopefully you guys don't run into that many errors, but I know that you're gonna have issues with stuff not working in certain channels because of the way that your permissions and roles are set up on your Discord, which is unrelated to this video as far as setting it up. But I'll give you guys an idea of, if you are starting a new Discord, you can just use the template for my Discord. It already has all the permissions and roles set up the way that it needs to be for Pokenav. But otherwise, just continue here. So the next thing we're going to do is set the radius. That means how many kilometers out from the center do you want it to work in. So for our city, it's going to be 8. So when you copy and paste this into the Pokenav channel, you're just going to delete the 20 and type in the number of kilometers that you want to set. So we're going to go down the list, and this is what you're going to continue to do all the way until you're done with the admin's guide. You're going to copy and paste each command into the Pokenav channel. So the report quota command is for showing you how many snapshots you have left. When you use Pokenav for rating and research reporting, you will be using snapshots or the rest of your Discord will also be using snapshots. And the way that it works is you have to sign up for a subscription to share the number of snapshots per month that with the rest of your Discord. So I pay, I think it's like somewhere between $5 and $7 a month for 2,500 snapshots, which we don't even use a fourth of. But like the lower one under that is like 1,500 or something. I could be signing up for that subscription, but I don't know. I want to be prepared in case the Discord grows really fast suddenly, you know. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and create a new channel under the raid parties category, and I did that by typing on the, or clicking on the plus sign. We're gonna make one for raid news, and now oh, that's not the command that we want to paste. Go back to the admin's guide and copy the set bot announcement channel. I like having the announcement channel be under the raid category, so we're gonna paste it here. Oh, except for this is the general channel. That's not where I want to do this. Like I said, you have to do everything in the Pokenav channel, so we're pasting it there. And the last part, we have to delete the news channel that it has typed in, and we're going to type in the channel, which starts with a pound sign, and we're going to select the channel that we want the news announcements for the bot to go to, which is going to be the raid news. So there we go. Next is set profile channel, which means we have to create a profile channel. I like it to be called my profile. That's where people can set their trainer codes, their team, and their level, their trainer level, which is very useful for when you host raids. It shows that information, and just for raiding in general. So we're gonna go ahead and go down to the raid party section, or I'm sorry, the regular text channel section, and we're going to create a channel that's called my profile. Alright, and now we go back to the Pokenav channel, moderation channel, and we're going to paste the command, and we're going to delete the last part that with the pound sign, and we're going to type in the channel that we want it to be set to. So that's going to be the my profile channel that I just created. And enter. There we go. So now the bot should work for setting profile information in that channel. So any commands that have the word toggle in it, all you have to do is copy the whole thing and paste it into that Pokenav channel, and it'll either turn that on or turn it off. So do we want to have our bot post everything in 24-hour time? No, not for me. I'm in the US. We go by AM PM. It's confusing, and I know it probably would help for universal people who are joining raids or posting raids on our Discord, but I'm just not used to it. So unless someone tells me, oh, can you do that, I don't think I'll change it. I'm used to AM PM. That's just the way it is. So alright, what I did is I just turned it on, so I'm going to paste the command again to turn it off. So that one you don't have to change anything. All you have to do is paste it and type it in, or enter it, and then to turn it off, same thing. So the next one is the toggle share invite URL, and that's for the Pokenav app. If you haven't downloaded the Pokenav app, this is when you want to go ahead and download it. If you want your Discord server's invite link to appear on the Pokenav app, then you want to have this turned on. So once again, it's a toggle channel, so all we would have to do is copy the whole command and paste it into the Pokenav channel. The next one is the third-party access. I don't remember if I have that on or off, but same thing. If you want that turned on or off, just paste the entire command into the Pokenav channel. So the reset leaderboard raids reported you can change the last part from raids reported to raids created or raids joined. There is a definition for each of those sections under the leaderboard section of this guide. So, but we're not going to go through that because there's no point in resetting the leaderboard if there isn't a leaderboard, because no one has used the bot on the server yet. But normally, once you have a lot of people using the posting snapshots and hosting raids and joining raids and creating raids, that's all going to be listed on a leaderboard message that you can pull up in any channel on your Discord where Pokenav is a member, and it'll show you who's been posting the most snapshots in case you want to do any contests that reward badges, for example. That's another feature of this bot. And that was one of the things that, if you guys want me to make a separate video on how to create badges using Pokenav, then let me know in the comments, because I have a very creative way of making animated GIFs badges for your Discord using Pokenav. Because if I explain that right now, it's going to be a whole nother 30 minutes, and so we're just going to skip that for now. But you do want to set your badge channel. That command is down at the bottom there, and all you had to do is copy and paste that into the Pokenav channel and delete the last part where it says pound trophy room, and change it to pound whatever channel you want the badges to appear when you reward them, or you or your moderators reward them. So this is good for a contest. If you want to have a contest on who posts the most raids using snapshots, for example, that's one contest I've done before. You can do contests like that. So okay, so now we're going to talk about a few things that we have to make sure are done on your server. If you go to your server and then go to server settings, go to roles, and you're going to have to make sure that Pokenav is at the top of this list here. If it's at the bottom, it's not going to work like it's supposed to, and it's going to get all messed up on your server. So make sure you drag that to the top of the list of roles that you have. So I am going to post the server template in case you guys want to set up a new server using the template of the Carson City Discord. I'll post that in the description in case you guys want to do it that way. Alright, moving on. So we're going to organize this a little bit. As you can see, all these channels over here. The active raids channel, I think, confuses a lot of people, so I'm probably going to delete that. But before that, we're just going to organize it here and drag the channels under the correct categories. So we're going to just keep the permissions. And we're going to drag the rest of the channels under the categories where they should be under. The announce raids here channel is going to be the snapshot channel where where people will post snapshots, just so you know. So you can rename these channels to whatever you want as well. And on my Discord, I have it called the snapshot raid channel or something like that, so that people know specifically that that's where you're going to be posting snapshots. So we're going to create a category for research so that we can organize those channels under a category for that subject. And let's see, X-rates, we don't have X-rates lately, so we're just going to delete that category. You can always add them back later. So we're going to drag the research channels to go under the research category that we just created. We're just going to put the trophy room under the general area for chat so that people can see them there. We're going to create another category for trades. Personally, I just like everything being organized that way. You can organize it however you want, but I like having categories for a subject and then the channels underneath it that are related to that category. It just helps, in my opinion. So we're gonna put this active trades under the trade category. Like I said before, or if I didn't say before, that's what Discord is made of. It's just categories and channels and then voice channels. So you have categories and then channels that belong in those categories, and then you can add voice channels to whatever category you want. But I don't use the voice channels yet because we're not there yet. In my town, we're not there yet. We only have 500 members on our Discord, so if we had more and more people willing to use the voice channel and able to use the voice channel, then I would do that, but we're not even there yet. So we have the Pokenav channel at the top. That's the moderation channel for Pokenav, remember? And in my opinion, I think we should have a moderation category because as far as roles go, you do have to create roles for your Discord server. Roles define what permissions people will have. So you can have a management role, you can have a general role, you can have team roles, but whatever roles that you create, you're going to have to set the permissions that that role will have access to. I'll show you guys that in a second here. So I created a category called bot moderation. That's where I'm going to put all the bot moderation channels so that other people don't access it, and you're going to have to change the permissions and add roles to that category or to the channels, each individual channel, so that you can tell the bot, okay, I want these people to have access to the moderation channel but not these people. So the way you do that is by giving them roles, and each role has certain permissions. Like, for example, one role will be able to see the bot moderation channels and another role won't. And the way that you make it that way is by creating roles and then setting the permissions for those roles and then adding the roles to the categories or to the channels. I'm going to show you guys that if it doesn't, in case it sounds confusing. So okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to edit the category for raid parties. We're going to go to permissions. This is how you edit a category, a whole category. That means all the channels that fall under it. So in order for people to have access to every channel on your Discord, or every category if you want to just summarize it, so that you don't change all the permissions for each individual channel, I suggest changing the permissions for setting the permissions and roles for each channel that you have on your Discord. But this is how you do it for a category. So we have everyone has access to that category. Everyone is a role, and that's the role that everybody has as soon as they join your server. So if you don't want everybody that just joins the server without posting anything or verifying who they are for Pokemon Go purposes, then I would make sure that I go to every channel, and you want to go to the permissions, go to and set it so that the at everyone role has no permissions. So here in this channel, you can see all the roles that have been added to the channel. First, you have to add all the roles, which you can do with the plus sign right next to the roles right here. And then I'm adding a role, for example, the moderator role. So on my Discord server, I have moderators that watch all the channels on Discord to make sure that people aren't posting anything inappropriate, they're not being rude. they're getting all the help they need. If they need help on how to use the Pokenav bot for posting or hosting raids, then that's what they're there for. So by default, the moderators, I want the moderators to have more permissions than people who only have like team roles, for example. So we're going to create that role here. So for the moderator, once you create a role, what you're going to do is scroll down and you're going to select the permissions that you want that role to have within that channel. So for the moderators, I want them to display separately than other online members. I want everybody to be able to contact the moderators in case they need help. I don't want them to have administrator permissions, so I'm not going to select that, or the view audit log, or the manage server, or those three. So I do like the moderators to be able to change people's nicknames. I do ask on our Discord when you come in and you're in a channel that says all the rules for the Discord. It includes setting your name exactly how it appears in Pokemon Go, and that really helps as far as using the bot for hosting raids, so that it can easily, the names of the people can easily be copied and pasted into Pokemon Go for remote raids. So I know you might not remember all these settings that I'm selecting here for the moderator role. So at the end of this video, I'm going to pull up, like I said, I'm posting a template that has all the roles and the permissions set just like the Carson City Discord. And you can do that when you first create a Discord, use the template. That way all this part is done for you already. Or you can just keep rewinding and watching this video and setting it the same way if you plan on doing the same thing. Make sure that you move the moderator role above Pokenav, because or right under it, but definitely above all your regular roles that you have on the Discord. You don't want a regular Mystic person who just posted their snapshot to have moderator permissions to be able to delete other people's comments and change their nickname and change their roles, take away their permissions and stuff like that. That's why you have to have it at the top. You have to have all the roles sorted for each channel the way that you want it to work. For trades, we're going into that channel. Again, we're going to go to edit channel, and we're going to go to permissions. Like I said, you have to do this with every channel on your Discord. I'm just selecting different channels to show you guys the process. So as you can see, and on this one, the only role that's in there is the at everyone role. Well, we need to add the moderator role. We need to add the team roles so that everybody that has a team role has access to this channel. So you just go down the list and add them all. We're going to make sure we have Pokenav in there because that channel will be using Pokenav. Otherwise it will not work. And we're adding the moderator role. Now we're going to go through every role and set the permissions for every role. This is why it's so time consuming to set up Pokenav on your Discord server, because you have to create categories and then channels under those categories, and then within those channels you have to make sure that you have roles that you've created for your Discord, and you add the roles and then set the permissions for each of those roles for each channel. It's very time consuming, I know. I almost didn't know how to make this video without it being more than an hour long, but okay. So we're setting the permissions for the moderator role here. We're gonna just I'm just going through it here. I don't want them to have the first three, but I want them to be able to read messages, send TTS messages, manage messages, because the moderators are allowed to delete other people's comments besides their own. That's kind of like their thing. I want them to be able to embed links, attach files, read message history, mention at everyone, use external emojis, and add reactions, because most likely they know what they're doing. That's why I have them as moderators on the Discord, because at that point they've already had so much experience with Discord, they know what they're doing. And that's why I don't give it to other roles, because I don't want them to accidentally things that they don't know that they're doing, you know, or to take advantage of that and use it for the purposes of just bullying or whatever. So Pokenav needs to have almost all same permissions as a moderator. Alright, so now when it comes to the team roles, this is something that's assigned once they post their snapshot. The bot will assign their team if there is a team role. So for the team roles, we're going to have to set permissions a little bit differently so that they can't do everything that the moderators can. First of all, they can't create an invite into that channel. The first 4 they definitely shouldn't have. I do want them to read messages, send messages, but not manage messages. Yes, they can embed links, attach files, read message history. We'll go with yes. Mention everyone and use external emojis. And we don't need them to add extra reactions because we don't want them to confuse the bot. I don't know if that would confuse the bot or not, but we're just going to keep it like that. And then save your settings. And the same permissions as we set for this team, we're going to go down the list for Valor and Instinct and set the exact same permissions the same way. On the Carson City Discord, I don't like having people that haven't posted their snapshot have access to all the channels where Pokenav works. So those people are going to be considered the @everyone role. They're automatically assigned the @everyone role when they join. So I'm going to make sure that the @everyone role doesn't have any permissions even seeing this channel by selecting the X's all the way through for permissions when I get there here in a second. So right now I'm just copying the permissions and setting the team's permissions all the same. And this is all just for this channel, the announced trades channel. Like I said before, once again, you have to go through every channel, add the roles, set the permissions for every role, save them, and then move on to the next channel. You can set, if there's several different channels that you believe are going to have the same permissions under a category, then you could just select the category, edit the settings there, go to the permissions there, and then add the roles and all that. It's supposed to sync with the channels. As you can see here, there's a sync now option, but I don't like doing that because some of my channels under some categories use different permissions and stuff, so I would suggest just doing every channel. It's a one-time thing. Once you got it done, it's done. Yes, it takes a lot of time, but like I said, once it's done, it's done. Alright, moving on. We're in the permissions for the announced trades channel. Like I said, I don't want everyone who joins the server without posting their snapshot and getting a team role to have access to all the channels. So what I do is I go to the everyone role and I set the permissions for X's all the way up or down, whichever way you start. Okay, and now we can test the channel. That's the last thing you want to do, one of the last steps. You want to set all the permissions for all your channels, and then you want to test them by typing in Pokenav commands if it's a Pokenav channel. What I also do is I log in with a different account that, like, as a new member, so that I can see what a new member sees when they first join the Discord. So I would test it that way also, and then adjust it as needed. What I do on my Discord is I just I made the trade how-to channel, and then I post like a message in there that tells you which commands you can use in the other 2 channels, in the posting trades channel, an example of them and how you write it and what it does, a description of what the command does, so that people can see that channel, read all the information there, and then go to the other channel below it and use it there. So here I'm adding the roles to the trade how-to channel so that they can read it. And then I'm going to set the permissions for each of the roles, starting with the @everyone role. I don't want them to see this channel at all, so I'm gonna mark X's all the way down. Does Pokenav need to work in this channel? No, it doesn't, because we won't have people typing in Pokenav commands, and we don't want Pokenav to respond to the how-to practice commands that we're posting to describe them. So for Pokenav, we're going to also mark all the X's as well. For the teams, I guess it would be okay if they added reactions, but really not necessary. So we're going to go ahead and set the permissions for each of the teams. And we're going to go X's. We do want them to read the message, but not attach files or not embed links. And not manage messages, not send messages, not send messages. Read messages, yes. No, and no, no, and definitely no. Save your changes before you exit. So we're going to do this for each of the teams. Same permissions for each team role. Yes for read messages, no for send messages. No, 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 yes, no, and no, and no, and save. Alright, now the Pokenav, we don't need it to work in this channel, so against my better judgment, I am marking the wrong permissions here because it's the wrong channel to set that. But I don't realize that until like a minute later here. But what we're supposed to be doing right now is marking all the permissions as X's, because we don't want Pokenav to respond to this channel where we're just posting the definitions of all the commands that people could be using for the posting trades. All the commands that they could use for trading will be found in the admin's guide that we bookmarked earlier. It's going to be under the trading chapter in that guide. So we're going to save these changes for the moderator, and this is about the time that I noticed that Pokenav should probably not have permissions in this channel at all. So I'm going to change that here in a second. Yeah. X's all the way down. We don't want Pokenav to respond to the commands that we're going to be typing in and defining here. So now we can save that. We're just about done with this video, you guys. You're almost done setting up your server here. Alright, so the announced trades channel, that's where we want the Pokenav bot to work. So we're going to go to the permissions. All the roles are already in there. And we're going to make sure that the moderator role has its permissions. Yes. The Pokenav bot has permissions to read, send. None of the manage webhooks is okay. But everything else, just like the moderators, who want it to have those permissions. And the reason it's okay in this channel is because this channel is actually one that uses Pokenav. We want the bot to work in this channel, so we're gonna set the permissions for each of the roles. It's already done. So now we're gonna test it, and we're gonna type in one of the commands. Again, these commands are listed in the admin's guide. I would post it as a message in the trade how-to channel, but I'm not going to go that far deep into this here. So I forgot that the command wasn't want, it was offer. And I'm in the wrong channel right now. That's why it's not working, because I'm in the trade how-to channel, and I'm supposed to be in the announced trades channel practicing this command. So that's one of the things that can happen when if the bot doesn't work. Make sure you're in the right channel for it to work. At the same time, I'm testing and making sure that doesn't work in the trade how-to channel, because we don't want it to work in that channel. Alright, so now let's go to the announced trades channel, and we're going to test the bot there. And I suggest testing all the channels where you want the bot to work after you've set the permissions for all the roles and you've added all the roles. So there we go. It's working great. For the snapshot channel, I would definitely post a snapshot there of a raid to test that channel once it's all the permissions and roles have been set for that channel. And basically that's it, you guys. That concludes this video on how to add Pokenav to your server, and with a few tips on setting permissions and roles for channels, and specifically including Pokenav in the ones that you do want it to work in. So let me know which costume I should wear, you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.